The Secret Service has a zero-fail mission. A zero-fail mission.
What's going on, guys? I just wanted to jump on here and do some reaction videos for you guys. So this one is rather interesting. It's how Secret Service agents are trained for zero-fail mission. And I think Business Insider is trolling here because this video literally came out a day after the attempted assassination on former President Trump. Right? So with all that said, guys, let's jump right into this video, listen to it, and I'll give you guys my 2 cents. Let's get into it.
The Secret Service has a zero-fail mission. A zero-fail mission.
Yeah, so a zero-fail mission, meaning they can't afford to fail, right, in layman's terms, especially when you're doing PSD work. It is something that we do in the military from time to time. So zero-fail mission means that you can't afford to fail. You can't afford to let your primary get shot, right, which in the case of Donald Trump, they definitely fell there, right? Let's keep watching.
What that means in layman's terms, ladies and gentlemen, is this. You don't get a bad day in the Secret Service. Somebody tell me in this room right now, what would happen if the Secret Service failed at its zero-fail mission? If one of us decided that we stayed out late the night before, we got up late, we let the wrong person get by us. Something happened to the President of the United States. Would it be business as usual that next day?
Now, I don't know if that's something that they're allowed to do, but the fact that he's saying it make me think otherwise. Can they go out and party, have a good old time, and then show up to work the next day hungover and then attempt to protect, you know, politicians or whoever else that they're guarding? They're not supposed to, but I'm willing to bet that it happens. Let's keep watching.
By taking this job and showing up here today. So I want you to take this moment and say to yourself, am I ready for that level of responsibility? Is that what I want to do? You've earned this seat. We've congratulated you. Now you have to earn it every single day.
That's pretty funny, or that's a coincidence, not so much funny, because when Business Insider went to go film this, former President Trump was in office. So I think it's comical that after his assassination attempt is when this is airing. All right, let's keep watching.
You okay, man?
Mother.
Hey, put the bat down. Drop the bat. Police, drop the bat.
I want you to take all the notions that you have about what we do in the Secret Service, that you've seen on the movies and on TV shows, and I want you to throw it out the window.
This is Secret Service Boot Camp. Before they join the Secret Service, all recruits have to graduate from the agency's 6-month training program.
6 months, I mean, that's a lot of time to be able to train and get proficient at this job. I mean, basic training for us is only 22 weeks, you know what I mean? So that's a little bit shy of 6 months. But when you're going in and you're protecting head of states, I expect nothing but the best from these guys. So let's see what their training actually looks like.
Training happens here at the James J. Rowley Training Center in Laurel, Maryland, located about 20 miles north of Washington.
Welcome to the James J. Rowley United States Secret Service Training Center.
On day 1, a new class of recruits arrives at the academy.
Have a seat. Every one of you sitting here.
Definitely looks like a mixed crowd. I wonder what their selection process is. You know, just off the bat, it looks like there's definitely some DEI there, right? You got a mixture of females, you got black dudes, you got white dudes, but there's one common theme here. They're all skinny as shit. I need some beefy dudes with some meat on them. I figured they would have like a minimum weight requirement, right? Somebody that can pick somebody up and body slam them. Somebody that could tackle the president, get him to the ground. Somebody that can drag his ass to the vehicle if need be. But I'm looking at these dudes here and females here. I'm like, man, these guys are skinny as hell. I doubt they'll be able to pick me up or drag me if they need to get me to safety. But that's just my 2 cents, guys. Let's keep watching.
Here right now, there was about 100 other applicants that tried to get the seat that you have earned.
I don't know about that. 100 other applicants trying out for the Secret Service. Unless their pay is like 100,000 plus, I doubt that statement. But it is what it is. Let's keep watching.
How did you earn that seat? You earned that seat by getting through our very, very difficult and in-depth vetting process. And you should be congratulated. And I hope you celebrated, because the celebration time is over.
For the new class, their first week focuses on a physical evaluation.
I would expect all these people to show up already in shape, but it looks like everything they're doing is, I guess, not to Army standards, right? In the Army, we do push-ups with hands behind our back like this and a lace. Makes it a little bit harder, right? Pull-ups, we do palm facing out, you know what I mean? Makes it a little bit harder. But again, guys, this is your Secret Service.
And getting rid of any bad habits they may have brought into the academy.
We left yesterday without chairs being pushed in, and now we can't pay attention to detail 1 minute after the detail's given out. And we're laughing and joking.
Man, this guy's worried about chairs being pushed in, right? Here we go. Attention to detail. That's funny right there. Let's keep watching.
In here. It is going to be an extremely long week. Do not make plans for Friday getting out of here on time, because that ain't happening.
Although we were allowed to film inside the academy, our access was limited, and we were only able to film certain aspects of training, the rest of which remained secret.
We don't want to give people specifics into our protective methodologies that we have in place for some of our protection. Clearly, some of those things we cannot share.
Secret Service, America's first line of defense against the counterfeiter and the crank.
The Secret Service was founded in 1865. Its primary mission, to combat the counterfeiting of U.S. currency.
I think it's interesting that initially their main job was counterfeit, not so much protecting the president. I wonder what led that to changing. Let's keep watching.
Secret Service, whose foremost duty is protecting the President of the United States and his family.
The Secret Service began its protective mission after the 1901 assassination of President William McKinley.
I am the President's personal bodyguard. I go where he goes. I want to say that anybody who has no business with him better look out. And believe me, I don't mean maybe.
There you go, man. That dude looked like he means business. Not like that shit show we saw a couple of weeks ago, right? Let's keep watching, guys.
Since the Secret Service began its protective mission, the president has remained a target. Since 1901, President Kennedy has been the sole president to die at the hands of an assassin, despite numerous attempts by others. Like in 1994.
That's crazy that JFK was the only one that actually died from his wounds. And come to find out, guys, there was some conspiracy behind that shit too. Apparently the CIA and the FBI and LBJ, they were all involved, right? So, but it's wild because in knowing that there are all these different attempts, even though none were as successful, you would think that the Secret Service would take their job a lot more serious to prevent what happened to former President Donald Trump from happening. But that was not the case. And they almost went from, we can't afford to have a bad day, to they definitely had a bad day on the 13th of July. I'm just glad that it turned out the way that it did and the former president wasn't killed, right? So let's keep watching, guys.
Oh my God. When a gunman opened fire on the White House while President Clinton watched a football game inside.
Put it down, put it down.
Due to the weight of our protective mission, we have to make sure that anyone in
See, that's what the Secret Service is supposed to look like, right? That's how they're supposed to act. Not freaking holding up their hands and one is, you know, shorter than the president. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. They're supposed to tackle the dude, right? On top of him. Just like a man pile, right? That's not what we saw on the 13th. But again, this is old school Secret Service, 1994 edition, right? Let's keep watching, guys.
in those positions is truly worthy of trust and confidence, which is our motto here. We're getting ready to go into another campaign.
So the motto is trust and confidence. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. Do you think we, the people, trust the modern day Secret Service?
Year, so we have to build up our workforce in order to help support that.
The base salary for new agents and officers starts as low as $47,000 a year.
$47,000 a year. I could work at McDonald's and make that much more money. I guess it's a branch of the government, right? You get what you get. But if you want to get the best of the best, cream of the crop, you got to pay a little bit more. All right. I would recommend paying a little bit more. Let's keep watching.
Potential recruits apply on the Secret Service website, but most applicants are eliminated during an intense vetting process.
Generally, it takes quite a long time in order to get through our screening process. The very in-depth background checks, qualification to obtain a top secret clearance and maintain one, to undergo a polygraph examination.
Yeah, the poly alone is going to disqualify a lot of people. That part I understand. Man, my man looks like he can't run half a mile to save his life, but that's neither here or there. Let's keep watching.
Successfully past that. They have a lot to be proud of just for the fact that they're sitting here.
Stay right there. One thing to understand, guys, this is not a video game.
In this exercise, recruits...
What would you do if somebody ran up to you and try to punch you like that? I don't know, man. If it's a female, I don't know what I would do. I'd probably tackle her or something, but I thought that was pretty funny.
Interact with a video screen that plays a scenario involving a potential threat to a protectee.
Search up! Hey, stop moving! Stop moving!
Oh, shit. All right, so in the military, we call that going to Fort Leavenworth, right? You can't just shoot somebody because they have a mic in their hand. Even if you're doing PSD work, that's when you got to go through your escalation of force, right? If the dude, all he has is a mic, and your job is to protect the president, maybe you focus on getting the president out of there and get your body in between that person and the president. But you can't just gun him down, right? Because he has a mic. You'd be in jail before fucking noon. Let's keep watching.
Are judged on how quickly they're able to assess and respond to the threat.
So, there's the gun I knew I was going to find. What can I do with this?
Recruits also engage with role players who create realistic law enforcement scenarios.
I'll check it over here, officer.
Working in motor vehicles plays a big part in training in what the Academy calls protective transportation. Recruits train behind the wheel of high-speed Dodge Chargers and Chevy Suburbans.
I've been through a couple of those schools, and I think the Secret Service, that's one thing that they do have. They probably have some of the best driving courses in the United States.
The Secret Service's mission is to get protectees safely from point A to point B. The training that we provide enhances that mission, that foundational driving that they are going to need to be effective Secret Service agents.
All right, is everybody ready? All right.
Recruits also experience a rollover simulator to prepare them for what it's like inside a vehicle that's flipped over.
Next four up.
Yeah, the Army has a version of this too. Only we use like the MRAPs, because during the early days of the Afghanistan war, we were having a lot of rollovers. So, and a lot of people were dying from those. So we had to start going through those. So they're fun, they're like a roller coaster, right? Until you actually are part of one. It's pretty nerve-wracking. All right, let's keep watching.
They cross paths with active agents who've come back to the Academy for in-service training. Recruits engage in water-based scenarios, including being challenged to escape from this apparatus, which simulates being trapped in a...
I tell you what, man, as I'm watching this, I'm going through it, I'm like, man, these guys, the amount of training that they go through is not really substantial. Maybe this is like just the basic overview. I did more stuff in Army basic training than these guys are doing here. You know what I mean? And they have a no-fail mission. They should be training a lot harder than I did when I went basic training. Just my 2 cents, guys.
Recruits learn control tactics used to detain and subdue an assailant. Male and female recruits train together throughout basic training. Of the approximately 7,000...
I don't know if it's just me because of my military background, but we have escalation of force, and so far what I've seen in the previous clip and in this clip here, these guys are just fucking shooting people because they have knives and because they're running up on them. But again, maybe that's how they train them to do it, but that just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, there's no de-escalation of any sorts. It's drop the knife, pow, 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 pow. And I'm like, what in the world? And as I'm watching this, man, I'm like, these guys have no sense of urgency. They're tackling like a bunch of softies. Dude, we go hard in the paint and combatives against each other because we train like we fight. These guys here are just going through the motions. All right, the more I watch this, the more I can see why July 13th was almost a failed mission for them, right? Let's keep watching.
people in the Secret Service, less than 25% are female.
You guys like that there? How she's carrying that gun? All right, it looked like that one chick in the video that couldn't holster a fucking gun. Dude, you carry that thing, you gotta carry it like you're ready to take a life. You can't just carry it all lottie-dottie, everybody just fucking stroll in the park, right? You carry that thing in an aggressive stance, and if anybody comes up on you, they know, hey, I'm gonna tell you a couple of times to back up. If not, I'm putting rounds down range. But again, my 2 cents. Let's keep watching.
I'm gonna come around and check your seals one more time.
One of the most challenging parts of training occurs when the recruits are exposed to tear gas.
The gas chamber for us when we went through basic training was fun. It was one of those days that we got to go in there and the drill sergeant had a chance to fucking laugh at us, and we had a chance to laugh at each other. It wasn't challenging. Nothing about this is challenging. You're putting on a mask, you're walking in a chamber full of tear gas, and then you're taking off your mask, and then you're walking out. What about that is challenging?
Holy Oof, it is burning my eyes. We couldn't bring our camera inside the gas chamber, but we did convince an officer to shoot inside with an iPhone, showing us what it's like for recruits when they're exposed to the gas.
Man, did you guys see that little girl in there, or that little woman, whatever you want to call her? Who is she protecting? Again, we should have standards, height, weight. Like when it comes to PSD work, I'm not gonna have a 4-foot midget guarding a 6'3" guy. But we do that when we're trying to make everybody happy, and that's not how things work. Not everybody gets a medal when it comes to PSD work, military, right? That's not how it works.
Okay, we go. Good job, good job, good job.
We weren't allowed to interview recruits during training or to film at graduation. Once training is complete, these future agents and officers begin their zero-fail mission against the backdrop of an intense election year in a nation divided by politics.
What do you guys think, guys? Boot camp for Secret Service agent conducting a no-fail mission. The training that you saw here, at least the glimpse of it, I can tell you right now from my personal experience, it is nowhere near the amount of training that they should have to do the job that they're doing. But again, it was just a small glimpse. But based on what I saw from beginning to end, as far as the physical fitness, the fat bodies, the short bodies, the freaking lack of motivation, the lack of aggressiveness, like I can easily see why these guys almost fail on July 13th, right? Just my 2 cents, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, take care of yourselves.